In an earlier video, I introduced you to rules for the first time. We did this in the Destroy Actor video. Now we want to continue learning about rules and how we can use them to empower the different controls we have over our actors. So what I'm going to do is create a very simple actor. Again, I'm going to call this actor Bob. And I'm just going to drag and drop Bob into the stage here. What I want to do is not just have Bob move or rotate on his own. I want Bob to move when I tell Bob to move by pushing specific keyboard keys. So for instance, if I want Bob to move up, it would make a lot of sense if I could push the up arrow or down with the down arrow or left and right. And that's exactly what we want to set up right now. And we actually do that through rules. So let's click on Bob here inside our actor bin. And let's go ahead and open up Bob's brain or the backstage, which we can see down here. And Bob does not have any brains inside his head right now. Now, if I were to just go ahead and add the move behavior by typing in move here, and then clicking on that, then Bob is going to move all by himself. And let's preview that. Okay, so that's what we did earlier. But I want to somehow get the keys to control Bob's movement. So let's just go ahead and delete that move. And let's create a new rule. So again, click on the rule icon, and that new rule, I'm actually going to name this new rule Move Up. It's good to name these rules because again, we'll get lots of different rules and attributes and behaviors. So this first rule says, if we go over to our library here and go down to our conditions, this first rule says that when this key is pressed, then we want Bob to do something. Now we're going to choose the key that we want to have pressed. So in this case, I'm going to just push the up arrow, and you can see that it adds the word up in there. And when the up key is pressed, what do I want to happen, or what do I want Bob to do? And that's what I add to this do section here. And what I want Bob to do is I want Bob to move. And I can grab this dial here and rotate it so Bob is moving up. Okay, let's just preview this. So you notice Bob doesn't move by default. Like before, Bob just moved right away. But Bob actually won't move now until I push the up arrow, which I'll do now. And you can see he moves off the screen. Let's go back to the editor. Okay, so I'm going to click on this entire rule, and let's go ahead and delete that and start over from scratch. We're actually going to do this 4 times to get Bob to move up, down, left, and right. So just follow along and don't worry, it'll all sink in. So again, we want to create a rule that says when this key is pressed, and the key that we want is the up arrow, so I'll click in the box and push the up arrow, then what do we want Bob to do? We want Bob to simply move. Make sure we rotate the dial so Bob's moving up. I can then fold this rule down and click to name it, and I'll say move up, just so I know what that rule is. I can create a new rule. So again, I'll click the plus rule icon here, and this new rule is going to say when this key is pressed, and I'm going to tap the right key now, then what do I want Bob to do? Well, I want Bob to move to the right. And the dial is already pointing to the right, so I don't have to adjust that. Now that I've completed this rule setup, I can go ahead and click on Rule, and I'll just name this Move Right. Again, it's really important that you name things, just to keep track of everything. If you need a little bit more space while you're working, you can go ahead and slide part of this window up. And then we'll create 2 more rules. So create a new rule that simply says when this key is pressed, and in this case I'm going to push the left arrow key, then we want Bob to move, and we'll grab the dial and point it to the left. We can fold that rule down, double click, and name it move left. And then we need to do this one more time. So we'll create a group. Oops, sorry, not a group, delete that. We'll create a rule that says when this key is pressed, this time we'll push the right key. Then we want Bob to do this. Don't forget that you can actually click in this area and just type in the word move and select that. It's a little bit faster. And then that's already pointing to the right. So we should be good. We'll call this up. Sorry, I made a mistake. We already have move right. So let's just switch this. Just highlight that whole area and I'll push the down key. And then we'll rotate this down. I'm sure as you guys were watching this in the video, you were screaming at the screen saying, no, you already did that. So let's just rename this move down. And now we have the ability to move Bob up, right, left, and down. So let's preview and see if that works. So the right key, the left key, the down key, and the up key. So I can push all of those at different times, and now we have a character that we can move around our entire screen. So I know that was a little bit tedious as far as the setup is concerned, but it's actually a very, very simple procedure. All you want to do is set the key, and then what do you want to happen when that key is pressed. So go ahead and experiment setting that up for a single actor right now. You can either set up all the movement directions up, down, left, and right for an actor, but you can also experiment adding in a few more keys here, like the A key might rotate your character, the S key might change your character's size, and it's set up exactly the same way.